Hi, sixth graders. Okay, so today we are going to be learning about how to perform order of operations with multiple grouping symbols. So sometimes in the order of operations, you're going to have lots of different symbols that are not just parentheses, but they're all going to act just like parentheses. Okay, so we know that these are parentheses. Okay, so however you want to spell them, they are spelled something like this, even though it's a challenge to spell them. Well, for me anyways. Okay, so parentheses. The parentheses look like that. Okay. Brackets. We also have grouping symbols that are called brackets, and they look like brackets, I guess. So these ones are called brackets. They're just like kind of like a more harsh looking parentheses. And then we have some really fancy parentheses. Okay, and then our really fancy looking parentheses look like these. And these ones are called braces. I guess if you turn them on their side, they could look like braces, like on your teeth, but those ones are called braces. Now, all of these, I'm going to use a bracket. All of these are called grouping symbols. And all of these are going to be used when we are evaluating numerical expressions. And sometimes your order of operations, sometimes you will have in our numerical expressions multiple grouping symbols that you'll have to sort through. Okay, sometimes they will show up. So, for example, let's do an example together. All right, we have 40. We're going to do a bracket. And inside our bracket, we have 40 plus a parentheses 20 minus 5. Another bracket divided by 5. Okay, so this is one problem. I forgot the other parentheses right there. Okay, now when we solve this problem, we're actually going to start in the innermost parentheses of this problem. So we're going to start in the innermost spot. And we're going to solve using our little checklist that we've set up. And we're going to start in the innermost parentheses, which is 20 minus 5. We can also start out to the side, and we can look and see how many groups of operations that we need to solve. So here we have the operations we need to work with are brackets. We have an addition sign. We also have parentheses. We have subtraction, and we have division. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 operations that we're going to be working with. So in the innermost, we have parentheses, and that one is subtraction. So over here, I'm going to say 20 minus 5 is 15. And then I'm going to drop down this bracket, this plus sign, this 40, and that other bracket, because I haven't done those yet. The reason why I started at these parentheses is because they are inside this bracket here. And so because they're inside that bracket, it tells me that those are the innermost, that's where I need to start, divided by 5. Okay, I'm going to come over here to my operations. I've done parentheses, and I've actually gotten rid of this one subtraction symbol here because it was in there. So my first step was parentheses subtraction. Okay, my next step that I need to do is the brackets, because I am not done with parentheses. My parentheses are still there because brackets are considered a grouping symbol just like parentheses. So I am going to still be here. I'm going to need to add those two. So my second step is brackets, and in the brackets I have addition. So 40 plus 15 is 55 divided by 5. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to cross both of those off. This leaves me with just division. So on my checklist, I am all the way down here to division now. And I know that 55 divided by 5 is 11. So when I'm done here, third step was just to divide and to finish out the problem. So I have finished out this entire problem now by starting on the innermost parentheses, then going into the brackets, and then I was able to divide to finish it out. So those brackets, even though they look like they should be a challenge, they're really not. They're just there to tell us that we have a lot of stuff that we need to solve before we should be dividing, because whatever's in here needs to be done before division. Okay, so our next thing that we want to look at, let's look at another example, and then I'll give you one to do on your own. So let's say now on my next example that I have 4 times 3. Oops, I put my parentheses in the wrong spot. I'm going to cross this out, you guys, and we're going to just rewrite this. Okay, so 4 times a bracket, parentheses, 3. There we go. Plus 9, parentheses, divided by 6 and a bracket. So if you see that they want us to add before we divide, but then they also want us to divide before we multiply. So if you remember, we have to do it from left to right. So if we divided, this is forcing us to divide before multiplying. So let's look at what operations we're going to be performing. So the operations that we're going to perform are multiplication. We also have brackets, parentheses, addition, and division. Okay, so we have several different things. I'm going to scoot this up. Several different operations that we're going to be performing. Okay, so let's start in the innermost. The first step is the parentheses because they are right there. And that sun is like right in my line of sight here, isn't it? We love the sun. But okay, there. That's probably better. Okay, so we are going to look at the first step still being parentheses. Okay, so my first step is parentheses, and I know that in the parentheses I have 3 plus 9, and 3 plus 9 is 12. Again, I'm going to drop down the rest of this problem, because if I don't drop it down, then I can't solve it, so I got to drop it down. All right. I also eliminated, when I was in these parentheses, I also eliminated addition. So my adding symbol is gone. Now it's forcing me to divide before multiplication, because if we were doing this correctly from left to right, I would actually multiply first. So these brackets tell us, nope, divide first, please. So dividing first, please. 12 divided by 6, we know is 2. Second step was the brackets with dividing, so I'm going to get rid of those symbols. And then my last step now is multiplication, is 8. So I've got an answer of 8. If you don't want to make this little checklist out to the side like this, you don't have to. It's just one added step for kids to do so that they don't lose which order they're supposed to do their operations in. or lose track of their operations. I know sometimes students lose track of their operations. If you don't like it, don't use it. Again, I'm just trying to give you some hints and tricks and tips and ways to solve things that maybe are a little bit different, that maybe like turn on your light bulb. So, yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and do try it. I'm going to have you do a try it, and let's have your try it be, oh, this one looks fancy. Okay. So your try it is going to look like this. This one's actually going to have 2 sets of parentheses in it. But don't get freaked out. Just do the parentheses first. 15 divided by 5 times 1 minus 2 times 1. Okay, so right now you're probably going to want to pause the video so that you can try this on your own. Otherwise, you're going to hear me start to solve it, and then you're not going to get a chance to see what you know. So go ahead and hit pause, and I'm going to go ahead and solve this. So hit play when you're ready. All right, so I see that my operations are 2 sets of parentheses. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the parentheses here. So I'm going to start with my first set of parentheses. It's on the left, and that's 5 times 1. And I know that that is 5. And I'm just going to keep bringing stuff down so I don't lose anything. I am not done with parentheses yet. 2 times 1 is 2. So now I can say that I am done with parentheses. I am done with exponents because I didn't have any, but I need to multiply and divide from left to right. So first number I run into with the division sign is 15, so that tells me to divide. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 3 minus 2, so I can subtract now, is 1. So my answer to this problem is 1. How did you do? Okay, out to this side. I want you to explain to me, summarize, how do we solve problems? How do we solve expressions when there's more than one set of grouping symbols? And then when you're done explaining that to me and to yourself, I want you to go back, check your notes. Is there anywhere in here that you're still stuck? Process your notes, go through there, look for something that's sticky to you. And then I want you to rate yourself. How are you feeling about grouping symbols and using the order of operations to solve when you have grouping symbols? Go ahead and put that in the box. 1, I have no clue how to do it still. I'm really confused. Why would you even throw in more brackets? 2, I'm pretty good. I just need a little bit more practice. I think I'll do some on iExcel. Or 3, I am awesome. I totally get how to do this. I know that it's just one more added step. So tell me where you're at. And then when you're done, you can go ahead and go over to the next slide and work on your practice. Thank you so much for all your hard work today, and I hope you have an awesome day. Make it a great day the Cougar way.